go ahead and get started. I'll say a quick prayer. Sorry I'm late. Big day. Looking forward to welcoming new members to the DC. E dá se Wakanda é gente. Watsiko Moka. Watsiko Petse. Watsiko Lip. Open the O-gah-pah. We brought it. Dear Heavenly Father, please look down on us today. Please look down on all the O-gah-pah people, especially those that need your help, Father. Those who are in search for something and need you. Those who are in pain and suffering. And those that are lost. Please help them today and reach down and touch them with your loving hands and heart. Please let us all have a good day, Father. Thank you for making us O-gah-pah people. It's important to all of us in this room that we take care of our people. I ask you to look down on all the BC members and our new BC member, Father, we're excited about. Happy for her family. And I want you to look down on TC, look down on Maryland. And I want you to just watch them and thank them for all their hard work. But Father, I ask you to just look down on us all today. Thank you for this beautiful day you've given us. Protect us and watch us. I ask all these things in your son's loving name. Wakanda, amen. All right. All right, we're going to start with the installation of the officers. So, is there a member of the election committee here? Oh, hey, Lori.
Hello.
So we need Michelle and Randy. That's a good looking crew.
Vice Chair, Michelle Newton, Zach Furley, and Randy Waters as business committee members, solemnly swear that you believe and support the policies of the Quapaw tribe of Oklahoma and the laws of this tribe. Do you further solemnly swear that you will work diligently towards the goals and objectives of the tribe, and heretofore commit yourself fully to the responsibilities of this position for the purpose of which it was established?
Gentlemen, can we give TC and Maryland in her absence a round of applause, please? All right, it's exciting. All right, so first up, we have the installation done. Tamara, call the roll, please.
My roll's messed up. Randy.
Here.
Lloyd.
Here.
Callie. Here. John.
Here.
Tamara. Present. Zach.
Here.
Michelle. Here.
All right. First up, we have a quorum call. We have reading correction, approval of minutes and phone polls. Anybody want to make that motion? Michelle?
I'll make the motion to accept the minutes with a correction to Everett Bandy's paragraph. It should say there were significant projects done this month.
So with that correction in motion, we have a second. Second, what's that? Yeah. We're in discussion, but we have a correction.
find it inconceivable that these minutes were approved 3 days before the meeting, in a month
No, no.
before the meeting. So I'm going to ask that we corrected on the certification.
Okay.
It shows the meeting, the minutes were approved on the 17th, we have the meeting on the 20th.
Okay, I'll
Said
get
you're
that
right,
one.
well, did that.
I'll get that one.
Okay, you have the motion, you approve that
I approve
amendment?
that amendment.
Second, okay, any other discussion?
Question.
Questions, please call for all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes by unanimous consent. All right. Next up, we have the treasurer's report. Anyone? Jack makes a motion to approve the treasurer's report. We have a second.
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Any discussion? Questions been called for. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes by unanimous consent. Next, we have approval or disapproval of the reports as submitted.
So moved.
We have a motion by Lloyd to approve the reports as submitted. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Kelly. Do we have any discussion? Any discussion? Questions been called for. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes by unanimous consent. All right, first up we have Sherry. Oh, she even brought her teammate.
I said, no running this morning. Good morning and congratulations. My name is Sherry Nida. I'm the director of the John Elberry Fitness Center. Give you a little bit of update from back to May to present. We have 1,202 active members. We have a little over 14 that do have memberships, but a lot of them come at powwow time just to get that card. Give you an idea, 42% are free members, and that means all tribal members and Title VI people. 27% are discounted, and that's your fire department, military, education, tribal spouses, tribal employees, and also the casinos get a discount. 31% are paid memberships. We have 2 full-time employees. We participated in the downstream health fair and our powwow at our health fair, and actually it was held there. The gym is utilized by our OLC. We also had Quapaw mini cheer there. The Okean Outlaws is a traveling basketball team, comes and practices. And even we had downstream daycare come and visit and do a day trip and play basketball and volleyball and things like that. Looking ahead, they have asked us to help with the Mother Road Marathon again, and I'll be putting that together. That's September 29th. The Education Department is going to be using the basketball court on the 14th and 15th of November for the STEM Fair. And we also participate in the breast cancer awareness fundraisers. Some of the new things at the fitness center. As of yesterday, we have an ATM machine in Quapaw, America. Wells State Bank has contacted us, and because we are one of the only businesses in Quapaw that stays open till 8 in the evening, and we're there at 6 Monday through Friday. And then on Saturdays, it's open from 8 to 2. And so anytime our business hours, just walk into the lobby, and it's the Wells State Bank. And they got it up and running yesterday, and they put the sign out front, so that way there is an ATM machine around. Also, we started a Member of the Month club, and between the three of us, we decide one of our members that inspire others and is there a lot. So we started that. We're starting some new fall into fitness programs, getting those ready. And we also, last year, was certified as the Healthy Business of Oklahoma. We got a little certificate, which it's just a hoo-ha thing, but I mean, nothing big, but other than that, that's what we're doing.
That's a big deal. You should be
Yeah,
proud of that.
yeah, but there's no money involved with it.
Yeah,
Is there any
yes, take some money out.
Yeah. Is there any questions? You know, thank you.
I want to thank you for your, all your work during the powwow. Y'all did a great job. That's always kind of a highlight. It's a nice place for people to get out of the heat and cool.
Yes.
And y'all do a really good job, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, Melissa. We have a lot of tough questions.
Yes, because I have a lot to talk about. Our renewals, I'm Melissa Morris, and I'm the director of the PAC department. Our renewal postcards for August have went out. I'm actually getting ready to send September's out. The total revenue for July was $9,146.25. 38 new vehicles were registered and 144 renewals were done. Had 3 infant car seats, 3 toddlers, and 3 booster car seats, making a total of 9 seats that were given to tribal members and/or tribal children this month. So far this year, that makes 113 car seats, starting from October. And we still have some air conditioners available for tribal members 60 and over, that for tribal members that have medical needs that are under 60 and need to be air conditioned.
Michelle, or, I'm sorry, not Michelle, I'm sorry, I was looking
Well,
at,
that's the
I know,
one.
I was looking at Zach's wife, and I said, no. Donna, actually, who I meant. Those air conditioners that I brought up, did you talk to Melissa?
Yeah, and
Okay, they were hers, okay,
Yeah.
okay, I thought they were theirs.
yeah, they're her things, giving out some of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
One thing Melissa and I talked about yesterday, is, you know, our little postcards, how they're just white, they look like junk mail. I think we ought to maybe colorize them or something, because I've thrown mine away a couple times and then my tags expired. So maybe we could like make them more colorful or something. because
That would be great.
They sort of look like junk mail. I don't know, you might think about that. I don't know, do y'all get the same issue where sometimes you don't even notice it in your mail? It's a little postcard.
Not even the same color as the county.
What color is that, green?
Like a weird green color.
Yeah, green, or like I say, like bright orange or red or something. Or maybe the Quapaw colors, red, yellow, and blue or something. But, okay, well, if y'all will think about that, I think it would help, because
I have had a few people talk about the air conditioners that have like young children. I mean, you know, infants and don't have any air. I don't know what we'd have to do, like a phone pole or something.
I don't know, did it fall under medical needs?
Well, I don't know, do we, I guess just change your rules on who gets it, I think that would be simple. But I think you should, I wondered that as well, because I think you have quite a few, don't you, right now? I would just amend your rules, and then I think we could probably phone call.
Yeah, are you okay with that, allowing infants to have air conditioning?
Yeah.
It's been brutally hot. So just change your rules and do a phone call.
Okay, sounds great.
Any other questions for Melissa? Anybody need their tags renewed today? No, thank you very much. Thanks for coming in. You did a great job. All right, next up, we have Mitch in for Chris. Morning.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mitch Albright. I'm the Assistant Director for our Department of Agriculture for Quapaw Services. Currently, we are at about 130 employees right now. We're looking to find a couple more for QSA and for Quapaw Food Services. QCC, kind of an update on the crops. Wheat sold, it's kind of a rough year for wheat. We're sitting around 30 bushel, it's pretty low. They're pretty wet though. It's been a rough year for wheat and for corn. We did fill our corn silage contract this year, 4,000 tons for the feeding facility. Right
Excuse
now,
me, Mitch, can you put the microphone up a little bit? You're a little bit
Everybody
taller.
hear me?
Yes, that's better, thank you.
right now we're sitting around 800 head of custom cattle at the feed yard. We're looking to get up, increase those numbers by double. We kind of do that during the fall. It just gets kind of slow right when it gets hot and humid while grass is growing. At the processing facility, the SQF certification is about 2 weeks out, so that's going to open up business for a lot of different things as far as the Whole Foods market, like Walmart, Tyson, stuff like
Can you
that.
explain the acronym, please?
Safe quality food, so it's the highest level of certification you can get to be able to sell in the bigger markets like in the Walmart food chains, Tyson, stuff like that. So we have 3 customers that are doing large beef stick, snack stick orders that are looking to do thousands of pounds of stick. We can't do it all, but we're gonna do as much as we can. We have to have a certification so they can sell in those outlets. We just signed an MOU with USDA and RCS, that's the United States Department of Agriculture, Natural Resource Conservation Service for the Quapaw Nation Conservation District. And Secretary Perdue just signed that, so we're looking forward to getting that underway. In addition to the USDA and RCS, the nation-to-nation meeting is going to be Monday, Tuesday, and I'd like to invite all you guys to go. That's going to be a big deal. There's going to be 80 people on the tours for Monday and Tuesday, and 120 for the social on Monday night. The social starts at 6 p.m., so it'd be great to have you guys there. On the QSA side, the Tribal Center for Alternative Corrections is almost complete. The punch list started last week around Thursday. So the next 2 weeks, the maintenance department's going to start moving everybody in, so that's pretty exciting. The elder housing continues. We're doing sheetrock and cabinets right now in the 2 triplexes. The masons are going on it right now. We're going to try today, but I think there's a lot more rain coming, so we're going to see what happens there. There's 7 duplexes that's happening. We have 4 footings poured right now, 2 slabs. So as soon as the masons are done with the triplexes, we're going to hop on in and get them going as quick as we can. The storm shelters have to be in before the frames can go up. The Saracen Q store remodel has been completed and the store reopened. The Saracen Annex has a soft opening on September 27th and 28th, and it's going to be open to the public on October 1st. The casino resort construction is ongoing. Dirt work is underway and the foundations of the casino are happening right now. I think they're looking for a June opening and then a fall, December of 2020 for the hotel. The environmental is looking up this year. In 2020, we're expecting around $20 million worth of work to happen over QSA and the Superfund site. So that's for doubling what we did last year. That's pretty big. That's pretty much all I got for right now.
Well, I know we've had some visits by Oklahoma Department going around the quality and the EPA. They seem pretty satisfied with what's going on. Y'all are doing a really good job.
They keep funding it, so they're liking something.
So do y'all have beans in?
We have about 600 acres of beans in. We have some preventative planning on, just too wet to get in. We've had 60 inches of rain in 6 months, so it's been pretty tough.
Everyone has switched to rice, huh?
Yeah, I know.
Does anybody have any questions for Mitch? You guys are doing a great job in all your departments, QSA and QCC and the food services. It's all going very well. It's becoming quite a source of pride for all of us, and I appreciate it. Thanks for coming in. Donate some bricks. All right, Jeff Reeves.
Good morning. I'm Jeff Reeves. I'm the Public Safety Director for the nation. How's everybody this morning?
Doing good.
Good. Okay. July, we actually devoted a lot of time to assisting the special investigators over in the Pitcher area that's looking for the girls from over at Welch, the Bible and Freeman girls. We spent probably a week and a half over there with them. They searched some ponds and different things, done some digs, and unfortunately it all came up empty. But we spent some time with them, helping them out, assisting them with whatever they needed. Spent a lot of time working on the emergency operation plan for the Saracen Casino down there. We got into environmental now for review, as well as the spill response plan for the Q store down there. So that's taken some time. We got it ready though, I believe, for approval. Also, we had some issues in Quapaw, in the town of Quapaw, last month with some arsons, and there was an arrest made on that. So that was a positive thing. Got actually the K9 identified some accelerant on some clothing that was in one of the houses. They matched it up to the suspect's shoes. So it went to the crime lab and it got matched up. So we made an arrest on that, and ever since that happened, we haven't had any more fires. So evidently we were on pace there. So worked the powwow and the health fair, made lots of contacts at the health fair, done a lot of vital checks for members and folks, and it was really a good day. Only had a couple incidents at the powwow. I think we did 2 transports out of the powwow, all we had to do. One was a broken bone, I think the other might have been a fall. So no big items out of the powwow. One last thing, I want to let y'all know, we received a $100,000 grant from the Uga'xpa tribe of Minnesota to update our storm sirens, our tornado warning sirens. And we have 4 of them, and there'll also be inside alert systems as well, placed in the buildings. So we got the final letter on that last week.
That's awesome.
So we'll be getting with you all as far as the placement. We have kind of an idea where we need to put them, but we'll bring it to you guys for the final approval and make sure we get them where everyone feels like they need to be. So, but that was really a nice gift. One thing we did earlier this summer, and we came to you guys last spring about it, was the Youth Academy. We had a Youth Academy in June. Had a really good week with some of our youth. Steve Sogner ran that program for us, one of our marshals, Steve. And I'm going to let him come up and tell you guys about it. And also, before we get out of here today, I have John Millard here, who is our school resource officer, not their officer, school resource officer. And he's going to come up and kind of give you a briefing about his plans for the upcoming school year. Steve.
Morning. The Youth Academy, or Leadership Academy, is I like to call it because high schoolers don't like to be called youth, went very well. We had about a 1/4 turnout of what we want the 2-week academy to be. We only ran it for 1 week, so we had 6 students actually. We had 7 enrolled, 6 actually participated. It was a good mixture of tribal members from Quapaw Nation, tribal members from other tribes, and also non-natives. A very good mixture. It was actually perfectly even, 2-2. We started out, we did a couple of days of law enforcement stuff with them. Highly successful. The kids were very respectful. They stayed and listened and put forth the effort that we asked of them. We moved into fire and rescue training with them. Again, very respectful to the trainers. They did everything that was asked of them and put forth the effort that we asked them to. They were challenged physically, mentally, emotionally in some cases whenever they put on all that bunker gear in the heat. One big thing that I would like you guys to know about, we weren't able to go out the blue hole like we wanted to do the swift water training because of the high water levels and the speeds of the current. NEO actually provided their pool for us to go up, and we had a pretty good time block, more time than what we needed to get the kids in there, get the training in that we needed to do in a controlled environment. And it was a huge success, and I appreciate y'all's support and the tribal members' support in this.
We got some stuff to pass out to you guys. You want to pass them down? How are you guys?
Good.
Morning. I just want to give you guys a little update. We just started the school year. This year we're actually going to phase out the DARE program. So some people like it, some people don't. But we found over the last few years, I've been doing it for about 7 years, and it was really successful for a long time, but it's kind of went stagnant. The DARE program's kind of stayed the same, but kids are kind of changing now with things that are going on in their lives. So we've been working with Grand Lake Mental Health, and we're going to work, it's called PBIS is what we're doing right now. It stands for Positive Behavioral Intervention Services. So we're going to be working with the mental health professionals and the people in the school, and we're going to try to discuss topics that are more relevant with kids now rather than stick with the same old stuff every time, to see if we can help them a little bit more. We're going to be in the classroom still for about a 10-week program, about an hour a week with the kids. We're kind of getting away from the DARE program this year. We're going to try something different to make a little bit more of an impact and work with the counselors a little bit more. So
what do you do with your car? Do you have to change the wrap on your car?
I think Josh is just going to take the DARE off of it. Maybe, I don't know. It still looks cool. So
They get scared.
I thought about something like, kind of like that, when Ryan was there, I was like, nah, I don't want to take anybody off, so. You see, it's out of my comfort zone, because I've been doing it for 7 years, but like, this would be kind of neat too, to do something different, because the kids are doing a lot different stuff than they were when I started, but theirs is exactly the same, so it's kind of not, seems like when I go in and try to teach them stuff, they already know more than I do, so. I'm like, yeah, I want to switch it up a little bit. Also this year, we're doing our SAFE program again, which stands for Seatbelts Are for Everyone, and our high schoolers do that. We do seatbelt surveys 4 times a year. Our seatbelt usage increased 30% last year among high schoolers, and so we'll be doing that. We do a safety day for the kids a couple times throughout the year with that, and then we'll take the kids to Oklahoma City and they do a cool driving course and stuff. And then again this year, we're also going to try to do active shooter training with the school staff. We're going to try to do that again. That's had really good success in the past.
Are you involved the dogs on that?
We have not in the past, have we, Josh? I don't think we've had the dogs up there. Not on the shooter stuff.
But think about it, that's becoming a good method of dealing with active shooters.
We might have to look into that. That's a good idea. I don't know, we did it on the first in-service last year. They wanted to kind of spread out, so we might do it on the second in-service during the school year. And if you guys probably know, we got the sign installed at the school, the GSS, so that turned out really cool. Everybody at the school is super excited about that. Did you all hear about that?
You might explain it, some people might not.
The tribe got a grant for, I think it was $25,000 to have a sign installed at the Quapaw school. It's a big LED sign. They got it installed the day before school, and it's to put game information, and they can use it for Amber Alerts and burn bans and all sorts of cool stuff, so it's a really cool sign. So we're really excited about that. And also, I think Josh and some other people are working on a grant for us to get some extra security cameras and stuff in the school, which we've needed for years. It kind of looks like we're watching a 60s cartoon when we try to see fights and stuff in the hallway. So hopefully we get some better cameras this year, and hopefully with our new program, we're going to try that we can impact some kids a little bit more and try to make a little bit of difference. And so that's what I got going on right now. Hopefully it's going to grow this year and keep doing more cool stuff. You guys have any questions?
I know anybody?
Sorry, I talk really fast.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. No, you really are. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. I think, impacting with the kids is important, and it helps as they grow to feel comfortable talking to law enforcement. So thank you very much.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
I have one more question for Mitch. Are we still working on the Department of Agriculture?
Yes.
Okay.
I think the resolution's been signed for the Department of Ag. We're working on the Conservation District, which was signed, so I think we're gonna get with you Tuesday with Gary O'Neill and do a signing for it. So we'll get that Conservation District going pretty quick.
Okay, thanks. I ask that because it's important when tribes talk to the USDA, for some reason, if you have a Department of Agriculture, they find it easier to talk to you. It's kind of weird, but that's what the reasoning behind it is. So thanks, sorry about that. Next up, we have Leslie. Just as a reminder, we've had sort of a major change in the Quapaw Counseling Services. It's going really well. So you might talk a little bit about the whole general program as well.
Okay. Yes. Okay, good morning, everyone. My name's Leslie Bissell. I hope you can all hear me. I'm not very loud. Today's my first time here, so try to take it easy on me. I am here to represent Quapaw Counseling Services, and currently we have been staying extremely busy. We have a census of 105 patients that we see.
Speak into the mic just a little bit,
yes.
Sorry.
We have a census of 105 people that we see weekly. They come in for what's called medicated assisted treatment. We dose them with methadone. They do counseling, group services. We also have regular counseling of people who don't need methadone for addiction problems, behavioral health issues, anger management, that type of thing. We have a lot of programs that are going on right now at Quapaw Counseling Services. We have a youth program that's ran by Billy Bertram that's getting ready to start up again. We also have a cultural intervention program and a family unity program that she offers in the evening or the daytime. It's kind of like a parenting program. It's called Fatherhood is Sacred and Motherhood is Sacred. And then we also have both 10 and 24-hour DUI schools going on right now. So if anyone has lost their license due to a DUI or driving infraction, they can come see us and get those back. We've been partnering with a lot of new local agencies to provide services to people that normally we don't get a chance to reach. So we're excited about expanding our program. And we've also been very busy. We have auditors coming in a couple weeks for CARF, which is our national accreditation. And so they will be here the 25th through the 27th to audit us. And then lastly, I wanted to let everyone know that we're excited to be moving into our new building. We went and did a walkthrough last week on Thursday, I believe it was. And the new Justice Center is just beautiful. So we're excited to be moving into there. I had talked to TC last week, and we were talking about when I first started with the tribe, it was about 17 years ago. Quapaw substance abuse was in the Peoria housing unit in a duplex. So we're excited to see all that the tribe has done, and we look forward to what we're going to do in the future.
You want me to repeat any?
Okay. We're also working on a contract to partner with NEO and A&M College. And with that, we're going to provide services for all of the students there for counseling. They have a new grant that is an opiate-related grant. And so we're developing a contract for them. They will be sending their kids for counseling to us. And also any athletes or students that fail UAs, like for extracurricular activities, they'll come and complete a program with us, and then they'll be allowed to return to sports and school.
All right, does anybody have any questions about Quapaw counseling? Have y'all seen the new building? Does anybody, we need to have an open house or something so members can go. It's really cool over there, and it's all about trying to prevent people from getting incarcerated. Anything that we could do to help tribal members to avert incarceration is our goal. So.
I think we plan to move mid-September. Is that still the?
Yeah, first week maybe.
Maybe after the next VC or something, we can have an open house or something like that. That'd be good. Would people like to see the inside of it and see what it's about? We need some pottery display in it, Betty.
I can do that.
All right, well, thank you very much. Thanks for coming in today. Good job on your first time here.
Thanks.
All right, Gary.
Hello, I'm Carrie. I'm the director of the enrollment department. We currently have 5,310 enrolled tribal members. Our next meeting is scheduled for August the 20th, next Tuesday. We have 16 applications for that. We have, IT got our new cards ready for this year's election for the non-member QB cards, so we got those printed off for you when they come in. And other than that, we're just working on address changes.
I'll tell you what, we've got a really big growth of about 400 members in the last few months. It's pretty cool.
It's happened really quick. We average about 15 to 20 every month.
So are they infants or
All
adults?
ages.
Still, it's all, I was just wondering, I always ask that because I'm curious how.
Yeah, we have a lot of adults, some of them adults enrolling with their children, and some that their parents aren't enrolled, but then they're getting enrolled, but then they move back to that lineage, so we have some that are coming on now like that.
This number does go up and down.
Yes, it fluctuates based on how many deceased we would have as well, so that's what we have right now that are enrolled.
We hovered around 4,900 for a long time, then all of a sudden, bam, we're up to 53. That's a big jump.
Yeah.
It's awesome. All right, does anybody have questions? Carrie, she's doing a great job. All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next up, Patty.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome Michelle and Randy back. I don't usually have a whole lot of information. Last time I spoke was in April, And we are still down on the end of life forms. Out of all the tribal members that we have, we've only received 1,343 of those back. So out of the 5,000.
Anna, can we put that back in the newsletter again, the end of life forms, and remind people, please, thank you. That's important, because what happens is a lot of chaos, you know, if someone passes away unexpectedly, or if they're expecting it, and Patty doesn't have the proper paperwork for distribution of end-of-life funding, and it really makes it a lot easier or less stressful for the families if they get that paperwork in prior to the emergency.
But I would also like to say that I did receive a flash drive of the ones that we had with Medicare Health. So I have to go in, look those up and rename them. So I do have the ones that people had sent in originally to Medicare Health.
Oh, good, that's awesome.
So there was over, I think there was like 3,000 and something on those. So I've still got maybe a third of those left to look up and rename. So I'm working on that still. Our numbers are up quite a bit. To date, we processed 9,259 applications. Of course, utilities number one, we've done 7,698. And then a lot of school clothing, which is 1,075. We have been working on the guidelines. We haven't met. We did not meet in June and July. So we have a few changes that we're working on. Mostly it's just forms that people send in for services. Say if we have a non-tribal parent that's sending in forms to use utility services, we have them sign that and say who they are and that their name is on the bill. And then a spouse form. It doesn't have to be notarized. It's just stating that the bill is in your spouse's name. So if we get ours, we'll have that. And then we still have one for the landlord roommate forms, which does have to be notarized. Say if I live with my boyfriend and the bill is in his name, I have to prove that I live there with my driver's license, showing that I live at that address, and then I have to have that form notarized along with the lease.
Patty, did we correct it where if you're married, you don't have to get a
It doesn't have to be notarized, just you have to fill out the form saying that your spouse's name is on it, so we'll have that on file.
But it's not like a landlord lease or whatever you just said that.
No, it doesn't have
It's
any
not that.
forms, no, you don't have to have a lease or.
I remember that was an issue a few years ago.
Right, we just ask you to fill out the form, send it in, so we'll know that, so like if you send in a bill and has Jeff's name on it, you don't have to have anything done, we just have that paper on file.
Would it be difficult on the utilities, especially electrical in Ottawa County, to get maybe no names, but some general information? We're in the Corporation Commission in Oklahoma right now fighting Liberty. The old Empire is wanting a 27% increase on households, which is BS. We have a lot of people in Ottawa County, a lot of tribal members that are on fixed income, and a 27% increase in their electrical bill will be devastating. We're in court right now, what they consider as court-ish, at the Corporation Commission, and we're beating them back, but they're asking for a 27% increase on individual households and businesses in Ottawa County. So we might just email you, just try to get like maybe the general number of people that we assist with electrical bills or something like that that we could use in our arguments.
Okay.
Thank you. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
That's okay. But just basically a few guideline changes is all we've worked on so far. We did not, like I said, we did not meet in June and July. And then I wanted to kind of touch base. Like I said, I was here in April, and since April, we've lost 6 more tribal members. So that's, I mean, most of them were locally. One of them was an infant child, so that's all pretty hard. But other than that, I don't really have any other information unless you all have any questions for me.
You have one of the toughest jobs in the building. I sure appreciate your hard work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anybody have a question for Patty? All right. Thanks for coming in today. All right, Eric, Healthcare Customer Service Agent and CFO.
Good morning. I'm Eric Boone, Chief Financial Officer. For July, we had revenue of $2.5 million, bringing our total for the year to $21.5 million. Actual expenses for July were at $2 million, bringing our total for the year to $19.8 million. Tribal member insurance expenses for July were $368,000. bringing our total for the year, for the fiscal year to 4.7 million. Social services for July, we had $270,000, bringing our total for the year to 1.9 million. And the education expenses, the fall funding started up, so July, August, September would be big months for the fall funding. So in July, we spent $150,000 on education, bringing our total for the year to $640,000. And then we received $800,000 in distributions from our enterprises in July, bringing our total for the year to $3.8 million. Does anybody have any questions?
I don't. Anybody? All right, great job, thank you.
Thanks.
Coming in. All right, we have subcommittee reports. Any subcommittee reports? Nothing? Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if I need the microphone or not, but I'm Grace Goodeagle with the Elders Subcommittee, and I just wanted to say hooray and gunagay. Following the last meeting, we got the motion passed for our Arkansas trip. So we do have the funding, packets have gone out, registration forms are coming back. Just as a reminder, if you got a packet and you haven't filled it out yet, we do have a deadline, which is next Friday. And I hope that the business committee has a copy of the packet to give the information where we will be going on our trip, details about it, because you should have that information.
We don't have it.
Okay, well, we'll get that to you so that you will know about the trip and some of the terms, the conditions, and that kind of thing, what we are requiring. Because along with the packet, we are requesting that people have a medical form. That form needs to be returned by the first part of September. So we are getting ready for the trip. We will be going to Arkansas and over into Tennessee. And we're looking forward to it. We leave on Monday in September. We leave on the 9th and we come back on Friday the 13th. But we'll have our bus. Also, at our last meeting, we were talking about the fact that we will be spending more time in the northern part of Arkansas. But we do have some repeat trips going to Little Rock and to People Love Hot Springs. We're going back to Hot Springs. But we were also saying, well, the new store's been open, so maybe we can make a circle around or very much looking forward to the trip coming up. And again, thank you. As was mentioned at the last meeting too, we've already started giving some thought to the dinner in December for our elders. And again, thanks to Downstream, and yes, we will be working with them. One other thing I would mention, the Elders Committee was given a letter from the Artistic Director of the ANA Cultural Tourism Grant. So what they're trying to do is to get information from the 9 tribes, including Quapaw, and they would like stories, they would like information about the tribes, and they can get all the information together of the 9 tribes. And they have a grant, and the location, the whole thing. This I will give perhaps to Ken, so you will have this letter.
Thank you.
And so, other than that, that's it.
Where y'all going to Tennessee? Are you going to Uga'xpa, the museum, or?
Well, we're making some trips, but in Tennessee, we will be going to the Chickasaw Heritage Park. That's in Memphis.
Yeah, there's also a museum. I think it might be nearby there, or there,
Yeah,
Uga'xpa.
it's C.H. Nash Museum. It's the Uga'xpa Archaeological Museum. Yes, that's also in Memphis, and we do have that on our schedule.
So are you going to the mound or Osceola?
Yes, we will be going to some mounds. We're going to the, is it Spiro?
Yes.
Okay, that's on our list too. So.
Yeah, okay.
So
Sounds
again,
awesome.
we will get this So you will have this information.
Thank you.
as well.
Appreciate it.
That's it.
All right, any questions for Grace about the trip or anything? All right, thank you, Grace. Any other subcommittee? Dialogue committee?
He's en route. Oh, he's here.
All right. Any other subcommittees? This is organizing. All right, new business. Under new business, we have resolution 081719A, recognizing September 10th as Suicide Awareness Day. Read it.
Is Billy here? I thought she said she was going to come, but I don't see her.
She was supposed to, but I haven't seen her.
Okay, I didn't. I thought she told me that day she was coming.
So, now where they'll be resolved that the Quapaw Nation Business Committee does hereby recognize September 10th to be Suicide Awareness Day for the intent of raising awareness and exhibiting support to the prevention of suicide. Suicide's a big problem in any country. I think this is a good recognition. Does anybody want to make a motion to adopt resolution 081719A?
Move to adopt.
Motion by Lloyd to adopt in second.
Second.
Second by Gally. Any discussion? Any discussion? Not further discussion, I'll call for the question. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes by unanimous consent. All right.
I do know that Billy is currently working on a day for suicide awareness, and she's wanting to hold it here at the tribe and do a fun walk through the powwow grounds and make awareness, because there was and this is kind of shocking, and I'm going to put it out there just so everybody does know, there was a local school that was polled with questions, and out of a high school, 20% of them had considered or had attempted suicide. So it is a major problem around here, and she received grant funds to get the awareness out there. So that's what part of this resolution is for, is that we stand behind that.
All right, sounds good. All right, next up we have Constitution Committee. I'll currently read the current list of people that have volunteered. Derek Jennings, Linda Kay, Bill Buck, Juan Harkins, Casey Kerrigan, Betty Gatke, Zach Turley, James Mathis, Brandy Schapp, Jamie McNeely, Everett Bandy, Mikel Whitecrow, Robert Weaver, John Rogers, Abigail Logan, Jordan Adams, Billy Schapp, Frank Frazier, Julie Peavy, Kelly Bowden. I know there's some business committee members as well that are interested. So we've been talking about this, and Lloyd and I and a lot of us have been down this path a few times. So what our thoughts are is, I'm gathering good constitutions in Indian country and some that aren't so good constitutions to share. And we've been talking, and we want your thoughts on, there's a couple different entities that work on tribal constitutions. One's out of Dartmouth University, and there's some lawyers that have an office in Oklahoma that we've actually used before. What we think would be a good start would be to have like an educational day where we really go through what it is to write a constitution, what are the good parts of the Constitution, what are bad parts, as opposed to just starting with a blank sheet of paper and trying to whip out a Constitution. We think, because we've tried that a couple of times, and we've written a couple of them, what happens is they become complex, becomes hard work. So, does anybody have a problem with us maybe going out in the market and getting some bids on some professionals that have experience in tribal constitutional writing, and start off with just maybe like a Saturday, just call it, Constitution 101 Day, where we could sit down, they could go through it like a class, we could start getting a lot of feedback, questions and answers, and then from that, or a couple of those opportunities, then move closer towards the actual putting one together. Does Does that sound logical, or does that sound like a path that some of the people that are on this list are here today? Is that okay with y'all to start that way, as opposed to just sitting down and writing a constitution?
I think it might be a smart idea to have the people that volunteered meet first. And I think there's a lot of people that didn't read the Facebook message, that didn't make the list, and they want to be on the actual committee.
I can't hear what you're saying. So just have a meeting of the people just before we do anything?
I think my first point would be that there are many people that didn't know there were calls for volunteers.
Well, we're not calling this the final list at all, Rob. We're gonna keep, this is a process.
I think Ella made it out earlier, and I thought she said that she'd already made the list. Heather told us that. That's what I thought she said.
This is just a list of people that have shown interest. We haven't taken any action to say, this is the constitutional committee. We don't think that's really, we've been talking about this, and we've done this before. Look, we know there's interest in a new constitution. We think the best way to start would be whoever wants to come, whether you're on this list or not on this list, maybe pick a couple of Saturdays where it's not focused on anything else but constitutional. And we start with we educate people to understand checks and balances. Because, look, I'm a member of Osage, and they have the worst constitution I've ever seen. Nobody knows who's in charge. Nobody knows who's in charge of the money. They fight constantly, and it creates a lot of drag on their ability to move forward. They made their constitution from a blank piece of paper, and they just went around and had these town halls and took notes and threw it together, and it looked good when you read just the first sentence of each section, but when you start reading into the depth of it, there's nothing really works with it. So, and there's other tribes. You can look at CNA, they have trouble. So right now, I've got Paul Moorhead and Kevin Watzinski, who help us in Washington, just putting together a pile of good constitutions, bad constitutions, why they're bad, what the problems are, why they're good, what's positive about them. And then what we want to do is find someone who is educated and can educate this group and whatever the people want to be part of it. And then that gives us sort of a foundation to keep moving forward, because as we go through that educational process, some of these people may want to drop out, some of these people there might be more people that want to join in. But I don't think there's any emphasis or speed on our side to say, okay, this is Constitution Committee, that's all there is, they're the ones doing it. That's not fair to the people. So what I'm asking is it okay if I get good constitutions and bad constitutions, and we go out in the market and we find someone that we can pay, and we'll have, like it here, we'll have snacks and refreshments, but we'll focus purely on constitutional development, not on powwow or anything, field trip. Just focus purely on what is the Constitution. How do you run one? Yes, ma'am.
When you do appoint a committee, I would like some prerequisites for people on there, not just, hey, I want to be on the Constitution Committee. Do you have education or background that you can support and be a good contributor to writing a Constitution, not just, hey, I want to be on a committee because I'm interested.
No, I think, I agree with that big time, Dan. I think what I'm hoping is, if we have like 2 of these educational sessions, or maybe 3, and we could even put them on video so people could watch it FaceTime live or something. By the end of that process, we'll have a better idea of who the actual committee is. Or maybe it doesn't end up being a committee, it just slowly evolves through education, drafting, reviewing, redrafting, like we do contracts. So my question is it okay with y'all, if we don't just close the door on people who may or may not want to be on a committee, B, get copies and share them with whoever, maybe post them on the website, constitutions of other tribes, but work towards maybe in September or October having a day set aside just for constitutional education. Does that sound okay?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, is that okay with you all? Yes, sir.
Harvard also has a nation building.
Yes, sir, they do. So we've already talked to Harvard. We've talked to Dartmouth, and we've talked to some, for some reason I can't remember. But y'all remember those guys that came and we watched PowerPoints and talked about it?
You said his name the other day too, I finally remembered, I can't think of what his name was. You remember Lloyd?
Oh, he's from Madison, Wisconsin. He used to be the chairman at Turtle Creek. Oh, well, that guy too. So because, I mean, it's pretty important stuff, right? And so we want to do it right. The goal would be to have something at least that has options for people at general council can begin to digest, and we could send them out prior to general council so we could have a period of time at general council that sets us up for either a special general council or for the following general council to actually vote on a new constitution. Does that sound okay to everyone? Okay, so that's the path we'll take. And if anybody has any other ideas of people they know that are constitutional writers, let me know. Yes, sir.
I was just, I had some information about getting on the Constitutional Committee, and just with my background and Native American Studies degree from the University of Oklahoma, I'm very interested on being on the Constitutional Committee, just to learn and maybe contribute ideas. And I was wondering if there was still a chance where I could get, at least put my hat in the ring for that.
Yes, and what I'm trying to say is we don't have a formal constitutional committee yet. We have a group of people that have shown interest in working on the Constitution vis-a-vis a committee, but we're not closing the door by any means. We're grateful that these people are interested and want to step forward, and we'll make sure when we set up these meetings, they will be communicated with. But we're also looking for more people, because if we have, what was it, 5,310 tribal members, we need more than 20 people to decide the future of our government. I mean, there have been times when we had 10 people, like at a general council, and they voted and amended the Constitution, right? So, yes, ma'am, Grace.
I think your suggestion is very good as far as getting someone with experience in this. I mean, why reinvent the wheel?
Yes, ma'am.
If we have someone with some experience that can help us as we're drafting laws, I think that would be a good thing.
Okay, I agree. That's the point.
I think that it's very important that we have resource people like what you're talking about. I think what's also not important is that it isn't the business committee who chooses them, because I think the general council is who made the motion, and that's where it was important.
So you want us to wait till the next general council to pick the
that's not what I'm saying.
People that are going to help us?
No, what I'm saying is, I would say that the committee, what was written
We don't
back.
have a committee.
John, let me finish you. Well, I was written back in writing when I responded that you were going to choose 7 to 9 people. I have it.
I've never.
I've not heard that.
I have not heard that either. I don't know, did you?
I don't know if there was a miscommunication between us.
There was a miscommunication, because from our previous conversations, I was told between 7 to 9 people.
And then the business committee would have
I know
confirmed
that
them.
this has been evolving and things have changed, and if it's for the best, it's for the best.
Okay, so there is a miscommunication.
You're making-
None of us have heard that before, right?
No, I totally agree with Rob, not, that I had got the email as well from Heather, and it was very well, these rules and regulations, and you would need the ultimate decision, and I was thinking, that would be a discussion at the general council, we used to be
No,
something.
I've never had that
But I have the
discussion.
email, I just can't get it up.
I have.
Well, we believe that you guys got the email, and we don't need to mitigate that. All I'm saying is that email is a miscommunication. We're not gonna, it's not gonna be a limited committee.
Yeah,
But what I am saying is, the business committee, through the general counsel, has the ability and authority to contract with people that could help us.
Right, I'm not
So
arguing
that's
with that at all.
what, that's all I'm
just
saying, our interaction will be.
All I'm saying is, anybody who wants to contract with us and get paid, I would think would want to come and speak to the volunteers, and maybe the volunteers could then make some sort of recommendation on what the people they like. And then our business committee that's elected could make a decision based on what the mass majority of the people want.
So are you wanting 5 different companies or however many are out there to come to a committee meeting, and then everybody who's there at that first meeting decide who they choose to help write the Constitution, have them sell themselves to the
Well, I mean,
group of people?
If it's a bid, I mean, it's the same thing, you guys are representatives of the people, so if the people are volunteering for the Constitutional Committee, I just think there's a lot of good people out there who do constitutions, even the 2 you're mentioning. There are a lot of them, and if they really want our business, I would think they'd want to come and speak to some of our people. So
That's basically what we're doing, but, okay, you're gonna limit our ability if we make people spend several $1,000s to fly here and present to us with the hopes that they could potentially get the bid.
just pay their expenses.
Why don't you let us, who are voted and elected to manage contracting, we'll deal with that and try to make it as fair as possible. If we end up getting someone the majority of the people don't like, we'll get somebody else.
Well, and we are the people, and the people are the general counsel, and you guys are, the people are the bosses of the business committee.
This is not a general council meeting, right?
I didn't
This is a business
say that it
meeting.
was, but I'm still a tribal member, just as you are. So what I'm saying is, in a respectful manner, is that I agree with you. I just don't agree in the same manner that it's happening. To your point, yes, pay their expenses if that's what it is. I mean, an airplane ticket and a hotel room is not gonna cost that much, and some food. But if there's only 2 and there's 100 people out there that want to come and talk to people in those 2 times, I mean, it's just like when you guys do bids.
I wish there were that many experts out there on tribal constitutions. There's
Oh,
not a lot.
you're creating a bureaucracy that's unnecessary.
No.
Look, we're just, okay, look, why don't you, okay, go ahead and finish and we'll just move on.
No, I agree with your 2 Saturdays. I wouldn't want it to be more than that. But, I mean, when I bid on the contracts, they give us 30 minutes to bid. They tell us why we should be chosen. And, you know, you get asked a question for 10 minutes. That's what I would limit it to, maybe like the top 10 if there are that many. That's all I'm asking.
I just wanted to comment, what I understand Chairman is saying is he's trying to seek bids to have someone come in and just educate us on constitutions and what goes into it. I don't think he's saying we're gonna hire these people to write our constitution. That's not how I gathered, am I wrong?
Yeah.
And that we'll have it open to the public, not just these people on this piece of paper, but anyone that wants to come in and hear what goes into a constitution. That's what I understand that he's saying, but, I'm sorry.
Couldn't we like live stream them in or something instead of flying them in and spending all the money? Wouldn't that be a little, like have meetings?
Well, okay, well, let's explore a lot of ways. First, let me try to put a fairly comprehensive list of people who are interested in helping tribes to make a constitution. 1. 2, they have to have some kind of experience in doing it. Just because they're interested in helping us write one doesn't mean we need someone that has never done it. And I think we should look at the people who are interested and have done it, who the pile of good constitutions is filled with some of the ones they've written as opposed to the crappy ones. And we just go from there. and we just start with the educational process before we engage anybody in a further process of actually helping us pass the Constitution. I mean, if we're just gonna spin our wheels for months trying to find a person that's gonna educate us on how constitutions work and how to write them, I think we're gonna be wasting time. So, does that satisfy you?
Well, I was already saying that I agreed with you. I just wanted to make sure that.
Yes or no is fine. I'm just asking you, are you okay with that plan?
Like I just said, I already said.
Okay, thanks. All right, we're moving on. Look, I appreciate it, but I don't want to like litigate every single thing with you today, Rob. We got a lot of work to do, and I'm just trying to satisfy you.
This is not litigation.
So we are, this is not the only members of the Constitutional Committee. The email that went out, whoever got it, can we please send a retraction, or will you please retract it? It didn't come from the business committee, it was a miscommunication. There's no limitation on the number of people, no limitation to, that we know of anything. We just want to adhere to the request of the general counsel and find the best and most efficient and opportunity for the tribe. All right, next up we have donations and sponsorships. All right, we have, is it Bus or Bussies? Holly Bussy, contact person Samantha Bussy, she lives in Joplin. We're asking for, see if she's Quapaw or not.
I thought we had a place on there. Do we not have a? Is there? Yeah, there's a place on there? Am I over?
No, there's no place
Oh,
on there,
okay.
but she is from Quapaw.
Okay.
Okay, so can we add to the donation form there, whether or not they're an enrolled tribal member, please? All right, we're asking for a donation, student sponsorship for my daughter Holly Bussy to help cover fees and uniform and equipment to color guard / band. They will be going to all the football games, parades, and marching competitions. I don't have any idea what school. Is it, you know?
I would guess Joplin, if they live in Joplin, but being that they're a tribal member, I will make the motion for the $400 to cover her uniform and equipment.
Well, she asked for
No,
$400. Oh, yeah, sorry.
All right, we have a motion by Callie, second by Zach, for help sponsoring Holly Bussy to cover her fees and uniform expenses and equipment for color guards / band. Is there any other discussion?
Question.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes by unanimous consent. Next up, we have Isabel Cooley, roll number 4504. Diane Cooley's her parent. They live in Lee Summit, Missouri. I think that's south of Kansas City. Isabel's enrolled in a college credit, dual credit English class for senior year of high school. She will receive a high school and college credit for this class. Payment is due to the school by 10/15/19. There's no amount listed,
Yeah.
$160.50.
I don't think, I know Krista's talking about, oh, you're gonna talk about this?
Yes, I was
Okay,
actually,
yeah.
and, in June, she presented some information for us, as we all saw, talking about concurrent education for high school students to get it put into the budget for next year. So I would say with this, there's a lot of high school students who also want this.
So I think the plan is to have it
Starting
possibly
next
included for
budget.
us to consider next, yeah.
Yes.
But for now, it looks like she needs it, well, by 10/15, so. Maybe put it, yeah. Just wait.
Start preparing for next year when we start.
I think we should probably wait until the budget year starts, or fiscal year starts, probably, or.
Does anybody have a problem with waiting till the fiscal year starts so we can put this into our education budget? Pardon me?
There's a lot of students who have been not been able to get it this year.
Just hold off? Is everybody good at holding off? Hold off.
I apologize for that, but I just want to be fair.
It's going to be addressed, I think, also.
Yes, it is being addressed for sure.
All right, next up, Carolyn. All right. Well, it's awesome that you're going to do a short time class. Okay. So, we have, you want to go ahead and just describe it? It might be easier instead of me trying to read it.
Okay, there's probably about half the people that are here that want to be in the class, but it's a class of 15. We can get the shawl kits for $32.50. That includes the material, the awl, the needle, and the fringe, and that's pretty darn cheap. And then my small fee, and then we'd have it. They requested that we have it like on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon when they're not working, because a lot of people do work, they can't get off, or if we have it at night, they're tired, you know what I mean. So an afternoon class, about 3 or 4 hours. And then in turn, they will teach their daughters, they will teach their sisters, and it'll be an ongoing thing. Always.
So let me ask you this. So it's going to be like made a donation request to you, but would it be okay just for the BC to spend it and the materials are all here and paid for here and be available for your class as opposed to making it a donation?
Yeah, I didn't know, when I talked to Steve about it, we didn't really know how to write it, and then they said, well, it needs to be put on the donation form, and so that's what I filled out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I see it more of just, it's just like pottery class or something, you know. I think that we should just supply the materials if you're willing to teach.
Okay.
Does that make sense to everybody? Is that okay?
How many instructors receiving pay?
I don't know. Y'all don't get paid or anything, do you? Say?
Yes, I do get paid.
How much do you get paid?
I don't really feel like sharing.
No, that's okay. Let me ask it a different way. Does it come out of the fees, or how does that work?
It comes out of
The grant?
Billings budget. Because she has a grant
Yeah, so,
covering all of
and
this.
then
so-
maybe that is something that we could talk about. I'm not, sorry for putting you on the spot.
I apologize, I was thinking you received a stipend from the tribe, that's why I was like, and they're all about the same, so I apologize.
The cultural committee pays everybody $100 when they come. I mean, it's minimal, but that's what the cultural committee pays when we have
$8 for people that come in and do different projects.
Oh, okay.
I was
And then-
requesting 150, I think.
But there's also grant opportunities, more cultural committee opportunities, if that helps you, okay? So I think the question goes back to, we can deal with the cultural committee and the grant separately. I think my question to you, would it be okay just for the tribe to purchase this stuff, have it available for you whenever you have class?
Okay.
And then that way it doesn't go down as a donation to you. Does that make sense? Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Are y'all okay with that?
I would just like to make sure she gets a stipend like the other instructors do as well.
Yes.
Okay, and this is a point of order, Callie.
I'm sorry.
We get that we want you to be compensated, but the question is, as opposed to making it a donation.
Right, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you okay with that, y'all? Does someone want to make a motion that we purchase this equipment for a shawl tying class to be made available to Carolyn Knott when she has the class?
Okay, I'm going to make a motion that the tribe have a shawl making class with Carolyn Knott as the instructor, and she'll receive a stipend for her work, and will also provide the materials for the class.
All right.
Second.
Any discussion?
I'd just like to add, can we have more than one class? I know you're already full for the
Yeah,
first one.
this one class is already full, and this is the people that have come to me or
Right.
have written me, but
So
we could have another one
so
down the road.
Can the person that made the motion make class plural, classes?
I will amend my motion. Classes.
Does the second approve of that?
I agree.
All right, so any other discussion? Any discussion? Well, any discussion, I'll call for question. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes by unanimous consent.
Thank
Way to
you.
go. All right, next one, we have Quapaw Nation Breast Cancer Awareness Committee. Lisa Petrie, our CHR, she's asking for $500 to the Breast Cancer Awareness Committee for events that raises money to donate to Quapaw tribal member who is living with and battling breast cancer. The $500 requested amount will be used to purchase either a TV or barbecue grill. We'll be selling tickets for chances to win the TV or barbecue grill while raising money to donate to a tribal member with breast cancer. No set date for the raffle at this time, but someone in October Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I think that we could probably get Downstream Casino to donate it.
Yeah, and I also hate that our programs send in donation requests. They shouldn't have to do that. We can't be letting them build it into their budget and then we fund their budget. And so we've done this this is how we've always done it, but I think it'd make more sense to have them build this in. I think we should do it for her, but maybe Eric, something to remember to include in some of these budgets.
I like the donation from Downstream.
Yeah, well, then.
Oh, you like that one?
Yeah.
I do know that Downstream already, well, the DDA already does the t-shirt drive for it. Because usually we do like a zombie walk, and this year I just got the acceptance for the t-shirt. So I think they hate to just like always ask the DDA and Downstream, you know, all that, all the time.
Well, I think to help that clear that up, I mean, yeah, there's limitations, but within our indenture or our loan documents, we're only allowed $10 million per year of distribution.
Right.
There's not really any limitations on donations, and that doesn't come out of the distribution. So we try to push these things to Downstream so we can cover them, and it doesn't come out of the general fund of the Quapaw tribe, or it doesn't take away from the tribal distribution. But there are limitations within the covenants of the indenture, but I think stuff like this is not a problem.
Okay, I'll let them know about that. I mean, I think that's what they were doing, is thinking of as a donation. But yeah, actually last year, I was on the committee last year, we raised in donations over $4,000.
Yeah.
And that was, it was over, I think it was about 2,000 on that alone was the raffle, and it was a big screen TV, and then I think we did a meat package through the QCC. And then we had another 2,000 just off of a rummage sale. And we're gonna be doing, and that's when we're gonna do the finalize of that, and that's gonna be like, I think the second or third week of, I think it's the third Friday of November when that all, you know, we're gonna be doing little fundraisers throughout October, but November's gonna finish up, and that's when we're gonna do the drawing. But that's, I think what I was trying to do is just I'll let them know instead of using that as a donation, but to get a hold of the DDA then.
Good job.
Good.
All right.
Good.
Next up, say,
Did we make a decision then? We're just
we're
going
just
to hold
gonna
off
stick
and-
it over to
okay.
DDA.
Okay.
Then we also have a similar one for the elders trip. They're wanting some beef sticks. I think we could come up with those outside of coming out of Eric's pocket. Just a
I'm
thought.
not exactly sure how this appeared on the list because the committee was not aware of it. Zach, do you know anything?
It's from Debbie.
I think it's for Debbie Ray. She's just trying to help out.
So, I mean, you've been so generous before, so that I.
But if you don't want beef sticks, we would like to hear from you. If you want to- How about we just give y'all some beef sticks? Y'all chew on, yes, sir.
long as they don't come out of Eric's budget.
Done deal. Okay, we'll take care of this one.
I have one other donation request I received yesterday, from Jesus Morales, which is Mary Waters' fiance. There was a child that drowned, 2-year-old child that drowned outside of Wyandotte Thursday, and the child's Ottawa, and the Ottawas only provide $500 for burial, and the family would like to have a Pendleton blanket for the child, and he asked if the Quapaw tribe would donate to the family of Pendleton for the baby, for the child.
Everybody okay with that? Yeah. Go ahead. Sure. Everybody okay with that? Yes, ma'am.
There's another request that didn't get on the list. Last year and the year before, with school starting, some of us have been involved with the backpack program for the children. And this is my own schools primarily, but we know other schools as well. But in the past, we have given, the tribe has given, or the nation has given money to the organizations for backpack programs. And I just spoke with Larry, and it seemed that last year, the Quapaw donated $500 to the Methodist Church. I know the Presbyterian Church sent in a letter that they're very thankful for these programs that provides food for children of below income families so that they'll have food over the weekend.
We got that. But I hate to call point of order on you, Grace, but I'm still asking if it's okay for us to give a blanket to this family that lost a child at Ottawa. Is everybody okay with that? Yes. Okay. I don't think we need to vote or anything. So next, Grace, if y'all will just give us something that we could read, that's what you did last year, provide it to us, we'll phone pull it and we'll get it out the door quickly, Larry, and we'll take care of that.
Right, because the number increased after the end of the last
Understand.
fiscal year, so.
Put it in writing and give us something to look at, and we'll get it through the pipeline as quickly as possible, because we know school's starting now.
Right, because a letter has been sent from the Presbyterian Church, and we thank you.
All right, Larry, just,
I'll send one, I'll bring it out here by Tuesday.
Okay, cool. Does that work, Grace? All right. Is there any other donations we missed? All right, next we move to open forum. Anybody open forum?
I do have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I do have a question. Are marshals going to take over policing the town of Quapaw?
We have had a request from the town of Quapaw to take over the police, right? It's all in the details. We have to talk to Steve Ward about making sure if we arrest someone on fee simple land outside of Quapaw Nation jurisdiction, if it's a proper and legal authority, I think we would like to. I think it would better serve the Quapaw tribe to have the Quapaw marshals. But the request has been made. We're waiting for a detailed request, and we want to see how much they're willing to pay for that. So it's being contemplated, but there has not been a decision made.
Is that going to keep the actual officers of the town of Quapaw employed? Would they be able to?
I don't know, I doubt it.
So that's going to take away from basically their families as well, in a sense.
Yeah, but we'll get rid of the speed trap on the way to the powwow.
We've actually, they're gonna, we're not like, we didn't approach them about this, they actually come to us. I think they're having some budgetary issues with the town.
They're broke. They had to borrow money for 2 months of payroll. You know, 2 years ago, they hated us, wouldn't talk to us in their meetings. We would go to their city council meetings, they wouldn't even talk to us. So things are changing in a positive way. We'll keep everybody up to date. It's not something we can just sign away. We need the help from Connor and Winter, and understanding cross-deputization and the interaction of tribal police on pieces of land and how that works in Oklahoma. And then how the court system would work, because, I mean, we don't really have a court system set up for traffic violations and that sort of thing, so I think it would be good for us. We do a lot of cross-deputization or mutual aid agreements in EMS and fire, but we're just, the devil's in the details. We just need something in writing from them so we can engage in a MOU that would lead us to some conclusion. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But the request has been made by the city formally, Zach and Jeff.
That was just like Thursday?
Yeah.
Or when did you do that?
They met with them, I think Friday.
Friday? No, we just, like, you found out about that one, boy. We just found out about it last night.
But I mean, it could even have potential of creating another job for a marshal or something, right? So, all right, we just have a late entry. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to ask something. Don't want to knock marshals. I think they do a great job. But I've been in 2 different public places where I've seen 2 different marshals talk about people by name who they've arrested or who they're watching. I mean, with crowds of people around.
That should not happen.
And
Did you hear that, Josh?
Yes.
like I said, I'm not around. I mean,
They need to zip
2
it.
different places. Once it was the same officer. I don't know them by name. I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble,
No, that's totally fair, Lori.
I don't think that's very ethical. I mean,
It's not ethical at all.
so I just wanted to bring that to
Thank
attention
you.
because I don't think that should.
So Josh, you have marshals talking about people they've arrested publicly and mentioning them by name, and that's not fair. You know, that also makes people less willing to call the marshals because they don't want their name spread around town. So it negatively impacts us in more ways than just the person that's getting their name spread around. Well, Mike, we're glad you made it. Mike stepping up to the mic and just giving us a little quick powwow report. Want to thank you for a very successful powwow. And congratulate you on another powwow.
Good morning, I guess. Had a late start this morning. I had unexpected visitors last night, so had to stay and see them. So a bunch of grandkids came over. Powwow went good. Everybody said it was probably one of the best powwows we had. I think we've had better, but if everybody's happy, I'll go with it. Weather played a little part in it again. Can't beat that. We also competed with a bunch of other powwows, so I think we had a good crowd for that. So. Other than that, I think everybody was happy with rations again, I guess. I didn't hear any complaining. Except for some people say, is that it? You can't carry what you got. Okay. So,
Okay. You did a good job. We appreciate it. We know it's a headache. We know that we dissolved the grounds committee, which created a little more work for powwow. We do want to sit down with you and just let you work on powwow and not worry about some of the other things like law enforcement, protection, camp registration, stuff like that. So the only thing I would request is that you sit down with Eric so we could close out the books on it.
Okay.
And then we're in budget process now. If, look, every year it's different. We're growing, there's changes that are needed to be made. You've never been paid for this job in the past, which I think is crazy because you work super hard. So all I'm asking is that we close it out for this year and then just budget it up for next year.
all right.
Is that
Good with that.
You good with that?
We'll be with that.
Okay, anybody have questions? Yes, Betty, go ahead.
I was just curious about the budget. What was the budget? I don't remember.
So we
Eric, you know the budget?
Powwow these days. It's the same thing.
I think it's 100,000.
Yeah, we've stayed at that for at least the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's been that way for 4 years, I think. It's pretty static. And some of the money comes from downstream at Quapaw Casino. So it goes to the general fund and then back through Mike. All we're doing is just trying to reconcile it out. We made changes, like I said. There's no longer a grounds committee. Grounds committee used to have a lot of impact of the powwow. So we're, just like everything, we're growing and expanding and getting busier and changing stuff. So.
Can I ask if you're gonna reestablish the grounds committee, or is it just?
No, we've had a lot of talks about that. There isn't really a need for it anymore. We have a pretty extensive, facilities team to take care of the construction needs and those sorts of things. The thing that we have to figure out is there's people that work here in the tribal office that end up having to work the powwow, and they don't really get compensated fairly for that. And we need to make sure that we figure that out, because it's hard work and it's hot, and it's during the day but a lot of the work's done, and at the end of it, there's always a little bit of bickering about why people didn't get paid or why should we pay them. So hopefully in this reconciliation and next year's budget, we can account for those things and avoid, aggravation and messing with people's expectations, because I don't want to run the powwow. I couldn't do that. That's too much work for me.
I agree.
It's too hot. But that, I think what we're talking about in code is we want to increase the budget and we want to reconcile this year's budget out so we close the books and move on. Yes, sir.
Just in lieu of not having a grounds committee, if somebody a tribal member was interested in getting a camp, if there was camp spaces available, what would be the process nowadays of doing that?
We have that figured out.
Well, yeah, right now, Donna and Steve Stan and Donna Mercer have been kind of accepting any of those and keeping files on each of the camps and kind of keeping things updated. So for now, if you need something, go see Donna or Steve.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to take this opportunity. I lost my brother during the powwow. Michael, Anna, all of your committee, I want to thank you for your kindness and your honor to the family and my brother, the business committee, and all the people here. I want to take the time to thank you all for your support. That meant a lot to those children and to my family. But it meant a lot that you offered to stop the powwow. That really touched our entire family, Mike. You have no idea what it meant to us, and I want to tell you again, thank you.
Well, maybe there's going to be an empty place in that drum. He's going to be missed greatly, and I'm very sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
All right, it is now.
I would like to say
Oh, wait.
something.
Yes, sir.
I would like to thank you for your efforts and donations for the rations.
Oh, well.
They were really handy, that people have got more this year than they have for several years, even though we did have a few complaints from the local tribal people. Is this all we get? And you couldn't even carry.
No ribeyes?
That's next year.
That's been a lot better than it used to be. That's like a half of a potato, So does anybody, Mike, you got anything else? Anybody got any questions for Mike? Can we give Mike a big round of applause?
The dates next year, 2nd through the 5th, I think. That's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeehaw. All right, thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
No problem.
All right, it's now 10:47. Yes, ma'am.
Are we still in open forum?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I have a quick thing. I seen on one of our pages, I can't remember if it was a Quapaw page or everything Quapaw page, where one of our Quapaw children had to go, there's also Seneca, so they had to go to reform for their ceremonials. The parent felt really discriminated against in the child, our tribe is donating that much money for school projects, why is our Quapaw children getting discriminated against at Quapaw schools? Is there any way that one of you guys can call them and talk to
I
them?
don't have any idea what you're talking about.
I can't remember, I'll have to look again, but it was on one of our tribal pages, I can't remember which page it was.
I don't think it was on the travel website.
Yeah.
Wasn't on any of our stuff,
Yeah,
so.
but I mean,
Just get us some information, we'll try to help you out.
Okay.
It's not fair.
okay.
We do a lot for Quapaw schools,
Yeah,
and I
that's
mean,
what I
nice
was,
kids.
that's what I was saying, I mean, why do they treat? you know,
Unfortunately, everything you read on Facebook's not true.
Okay,
All right, it's 10:45, we're gonna go to closed session. Yes, one more time, yes ma'am.
Before you close open forum, I made an application for a closed section concerning an RCW situation. It arose after the deadline to apply. If you can give me some time.
Be happy to.
You're done.
We'll just hang around, we'll bring you in. Love to help you. All right, it's 10:45, we're going to closed session. It's 11:56, we're back from closed session. Tamara, please report.
All right. The topics we discussed was tribal member insurance, and we had 2 appeals that the business committee agreed to. We also discussed developing a new job description for an accounting assistant. We talked with our business committee executive secretary about the website, and we also had an ICW issue that we discussed.
All right, so Zach, would you like to say a closing prayer, please?
Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to be here today and work for our tribe. Please be with all our tribal members and families that are sick, help heal them and get them better. Be with everybody as they travel home, keep them safe. I ask all these things in your son's name. Amen.
Amen. Your turn.